Good morning. It's Monday, June 5th, VIP pre-market prep. Not a lot going on today. Kind of quiet, but let's first start with the indices. Macro look. XLE, I just want to point out oil has rebounded. OPEC doing some sort of oil production cut. So that's causing a bounce in XLE and related energy stocks this morning. So that's that. And then QQQ SPY ARK. So QQQ and SPY have been on a tear, particularly QQQ. So the question is, is this going to keep going or not? And you got the analysis from Rex last week. It's got an upward bias valuation-wise. Obviously, things are getting very stretched. The really interesting to me is, by the way, SPY, I think energy is going to help lift SPY today. So that's going to be interesting as well. But the real question for me is what happens with ARK and risk assets. So ARK we were looking at last week. We wanted a break of the 50-week moving average, and we got it. So we closed above that key level 39. So this is really interesting because we have this divergence between, I would say, the consensus, macroeconomic consensus is things are bad. We're going to have a recession. There's stagflation. That's really the consensus. Yet the technicals are doing the exact opposite. So why is that, right? Maybe it's a fake out. Maybe the market's right because it's forward looking. And only many months from now will we find out that people started buying because the macroeconomic indicators started turning and started getting better, right? We really don't know. But right now, I'm going with the technicals. When you break a key moving average like that, that's very significant to me. So I'm predicting that we're going to see risk assets. So growth companies, unprofitable companies, microcaps, biotechs going to do really good in the next few weeks. And I think there's also a possibility we see that during the rotation. And this commentary probably goes for IWM as well. Both IWM and ARKK did his IWM over the 200-day moving average. So we could see a rotation out of really expensive NASDAQ stocks, mega caps, and into these risk assets. That's what I'm hoping for. But you never know, right? It could be NASDAQ keeps on going and lifts everything. It could be that NASDAQ corrects and takes everything down. We don't really know. Okay, but this is my base case right now. Is this 50-week moving average is very, very significant for ARKK, and I'm long risk assets, and I am hedged a little bit by shorting QQQ. So that's my personal play. Bitcoin, interesting to watch as well to see if we get validation of risk. Now, it's interesting. We haven't. It's I don't know what's going on with Bitcoin. I'm going to go with the ARKK. I'm not going to let Bitcoin dissuade my ARKK thesis. Maybe there's something specific going on with Bitcoin that's not as bullish for it lately. But ARKK breaking this 50-week moving average, to me, that's the story that I'm seeing. Out of everything I'm seeing on these indices, yeah, you see energy, which is up, which is good for the diversified SPY. And you see ARKK breaking a key moving average. And then we're just monitoring how overblown can this QQQ top get. And don't forget, we have that thesis to play out that now a lot of people are aware of the TGA, the Treasury General Account, going to be selling $1 trillion in bonds apparently over the next few months. I thought it would be a little quicker. Now I'm hearing it's over the next few months. So you could see liquidity drain from the stock market as they go into these new bond issues. That's something to be aware of over the next few weeks. So we'll see. Maybe we still get a further blow off top before we see any kind of correction in QQQ. Right now, things look very quiet and stable. This morning reminds me of like a regular bull market where, you have great days and then you don't have this like panic correction in the morning. It's just kind of stable. There's not a lot of news. Everyone's calm. Like that's what it feels like this morning. Okay. Let's see. Let me just see what this is here. GFS and ST Micro Gigam. All right. Okay. So now let's go to our individual stock list. Don't remember we have Vegas coming at 9:15, but she'll talk more of Apple and Tesla. But Apple is opening at an all-time high. It looks like 182.78. Wow, look at this all-time high. This all-time high is 182.94. 182.94 is all-time high, and it looks to be like gapping up close to its all-time high. So wow, unbelievable. I never play Apple, and I've missed out. So unbelievable. I think they got an event there at today unveiling some sort of new product, AR VR headset at WWDC 2023. So something like that may be happening today, driving this movement. So congrats to all those Apple bulls who just keep that as a a safety kind of asset, and they've been right. So congratulations to Apple. Tesla broke over this key 50-week moving average. Okay, and it's hit like all the targets we've been talking about. Really, the next one I see is 226, 225, maybe 228, right there in the mid 220s. Mid 220s, the next target on Tesla. No catalyst really to speak of. Okay. I mean, Tesla always has always nuggets coming out and things going on, but nothing major to speak of. This is just technicals and market momentum and QQQ momentum driving this. PANW does have a catalyst this morning. They were Friday after the close, admitted to the S&P 500, moving in the S&P 500. This is blowing up to a new, I would assume, all-time high. I only have a 5-year chart here. A nice cup breakout. We covered this weeks ago when they hit earnings. We did an earnings re-rating play on PANW. Man, in retrospect, we probably should have kept it. Something I've noticed on the story trading stocks we give you in the morning based on news, whether it's an earnings beat or some sort of big press release, a new business relationship, whatever it is, these stocks tend to not only be good for that day, but they tend to be good, continuously after that. So that's something to consider if you're following our trade ideas. You may want to just consider, hey, is this like a solid company? They had an earnings beat, whatever it is. If it is, maybe it's something you just put into a longer term portfolio until the story changes. So that's something we've been seeing, a trend we've been seeing with our ideas. We're really able to identify the inflection points on the morning show. Palantir, we'll continue to watch this one. It had a couple upgrades, I believe. Was it this morning? No, this one is not the one. They did have a upgrade. Jeffries raises from 10 to 14, but they also had some news this morning. They got a contract from U.S. Special Operations Command, a $463 million multi-year order. Now, this is we'll see what happens here because 15 was the breakout level. This had one of the biggest moves of all the AI stocks and then failed to break out over 15 when the Bear Cave came out with a short report. Personally, I looked at that short report and I think it's not so serious, but you got just as it is with even NVIDIA and all of these valuations are very, very high. So it's a little bit, there's definitely some risk here in terms of, do we get a correction because things are so expensive? So something to watch for on Palantir, but 15 is definitely the breakout level if you want to go higher on Palantir. Carvana, this is a risky one. This is an ARKK play, basically. This is the most highly shorted. So there's a group of stocks that went up with ARKK like this, right? 50 to 300, right back down. There's many stocks like this, and Carvana is one of them. And Carvana is the most highly shorted one at 50% short. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Carvana right now. Okay, so let's look at ARKK. Same thing, different magnitude. So ARKK 40 to 160. Okay, so there's lots of stocks like following this. Again, Carvana is one of them. Now you see ARKK breaking out of this key level. What could happen is it could cause stocks like Carvana, even if they're not fundamentally sound, it could cause stocks like this to have some of the most explosive moves you're going to see in the market over the next couple of weeks. Carvana's right at a key level, the 50-week moving average. It's just a little bit, a step behind. It's just one step behind ARKK. It probably would have been over the 50-week moving average if they didn't release this news, which I still don't know fully what it's about because I didn't actually take the time to research it, but expiration of private exchange offers relating to existing notes. So when that came out Friday morning, the stock went down. But nonetheless, Carvana, and pick your growth stock. Any growth stock you can think of that went up like 10 times during this COVID time period, and they're back down, all of those stocks could be the best performing stocks in the market over the next few weeks. So keep an eye on stocks like Carvana. Just noting some pre-market strength in LAZR. No news, nothing to write home about in terms of that, but it's in between the key moving averages. This one, really, really rich premiums on the short puts. I am short those puts. DraftKings did have news this morning. So DraftKings, another one like PANW that we covered. Speaking of, remember I mentioned like PANW had great earnings and, turned out to be a great hold. Another one that had great earnings was PLAB. So we had those ideas for the day, but hey, you could have kept on holding them and it would have been great. So what's another one? DraftKings. So DraftKings here, we covered this one just like PANW with the earnings gap, and we played it that first day. And now it's bouncing off this 20 DMA, and it's had 3 upgrades this morning for some reason. And I don't know why they all came in at the same time. So we have JMP raising to 31. We have BTIG. I think BTIG was 35 or 31. Anyway, there are 2 of them at 30. They're not all listed here. I think I saw it on Benzinga. But there were 3 upgrades today. 2 of them going to 31, 1 going to 35. And perhaps Vegas will touch on this as well because she saw some dark pool money flow going into DraftKings. So we got stacked kind of catalysts with DraftKings, right? The tailwind of positive fundamental report now bouncing off the 20 DMA. Now you got the upgrades, and you also have the dark pool money flow. So let's talk to Vegas more about DraftKings. That's honestly, so far out of everything we're seeing, that's the one that interests me most today. GENI also had an upgrade, same sector as DraftKings. We also covered this one with a re-rating play after earnings. And they got an upgrade today, $8 price target from JMP. I think it was raising it from 5 or 6. All right, SENS, SENS. I'm really interested in this. I'm trying to connect with the CEO so we can do an interview for our VIP members. SENS, they got United Healthcare, added another 40 million lives of coverage. This is a continuous glucose monitoring device. And we gave this to you Friday. Had a very nice candle, very nice close. 80 cents is the target, 82 cents, really, 83 cents or so. So like 83 cents up there would be the target. And then do you have room to go up to there? Yeah, but I don't have enough fundamental conviction yet. That's why I want to interview the CEO. So I want to try to arrange this. And before it breaks 83 or before it tests 82, 83, I would love to have more information on this company so I can make a estimation to, this is story trading style, right? We're not waiting for technical levels to break. We want to predict technical level breakdowns or breakouts based on fundamental sentiment and catalysts. So that's where the research comes in to see if we can predict what would happen. Is it going to get stopped at 83 and go back down, or is it going to break 83 and head over to 104, 105? But this is interesting too because they also beat earnings. See this big spike? So you have the fundamentals of an earnings beat. Then you have the catalyst of adding United Healthcare and now moving up above the 20 DMA. So you're starting to get the looks of stacked catalysts along with a favorable market condition with ARKK breaking that level, which should send stocks like SENS, stocks like APRN, stocks like XXII. All of these should benefit if ARKK keeps on going up and holds that new level, that breakout level, 50-week MA. So HTCR, we interviewed the CEO. Oh, didn't I? APRN. Okay, we're waiting for big news this week. They do have a shareholder meeting Wednesday, and they're supposed to close. They're not supposed, but they're trying to close a deal with Fresh Realm. Okay, a $50 million deal. It's $25 million cash up front to sell some of their assets. In addition to those assets, they get 20% of the company. So, and that's going to reduce their operating expenses and cause the company to have a much quicker path to profitability. So lots of good things that can happen with this deal. They'll pay off their debt. So they're trying to close that deal by Friday. And I think they need to do that because their debt is due, their last tranche of debt is due next week, June 15th. So could be a very newsy week for APRN. So stay tuned to see what happens on that. And then XXII tomorrow morning is presenting at LD Micro. They're this close to announcing availability of their VLN cigarettes at 1,000 stores. I think they're at 906 stores right now. All right. I have a feeling they're holding back on purpose so they can announce that tomorrow morning because there were some channel checks folks were doing on the StockTwits board and discovered that the VLN cigarettes are available in a couple states that are not even listed on their website yet. So they may be purposely holding back so they can announce these additional states tomorrow morning and say, you know, we're available in 1,000+ stores. And then they do the LD Micro presentation at like 10:30, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, something like that. So XXII, keep that on your radar. HTCR, we interviewed the CEO on that last week. I believe we're putting the synopsis out, like a 90-second summary out today up on YouTube and TikTok. So look out for that. But there is a catalyst coming this week. Not only is there a catalyst coming this week, but Japanese stock market very strong. And they're helping these Japanese companies go IPO. And, you know, that's all I'm going to say. We're going to save the rest of the details for folks who are VIPs, just go into the StoryTrading watch list at HTCR, and you click on the calendar, and you'll be able to find the event that we had with the CEO last week. AIR was a big winner for us last week. QIPT, big winner. We'll continue watching those. QIPT, just the target. It's right near that first target. So 581. I mean, it's pennies away. And then the next target, we'll see, 620, 650 possible. But the easy money has been made on that, riding it from 510 to 580. All right. That's about it. There's some news on LuckD. And let me bring on, wait, there's a comment. PANW added to S&P 500. Yes, we did cover that. PANW added to S&P 500. Okay. All right. Let's go to our friend Vegas. Good morning, Vegas. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. There's actually not a lot of news on my watch list this morning. Nice and quiet. So, don't have a lot of big ideas except maybe DraftKings. But go ahead with what you got for us.
Well, I'm just watching Apple here. I mean, we've talked about Apple for quite some time, and we're looking for Apple to make a move. And so I am long on Apple, bullish on Apple, and, want to see Apple head towards 190. So swing is in play for Apple. And I am watching today, in particular, really loving Tesla, and really like the price action on Tesla. It's doing really well this morning.
No joke. I just got to say, I got to stop you. You did not see my watch list this morning before you came on. We did not talk about this. The top two on my list, Apple and Tesla, right at the top. That's so funny.
Oh my God, we're twins. We're definitely we are so in sync. Loving Tesla. Like it actually for a swing trade too, but even for day trade, looks good to head towards 226 today on a longer time frame. For like in terms of a swing trade, looking for Tesla to head towards. Let me just see here. My level.
Yeah, that's 226. That, by the way, that matches. Yeah. And that 226 also matches the target I gave this morning. So we're totally in sync on Tesla.
Oh my God, yeah. And I'm liking DraftKings. Looks really, really good too. And had some upgrades as you saw. And the other one I'm watching Moderna and Starbucks, and Moderna because of the strength also in IWM. But Moderna looks good if we can break 131.62. So it's trying to do it. Room to like 135. So that one could be a good day trade. I don't know about swing trade, but just for day trade. And this week I'm going to be watching. Still watching Google. Want to see the 125 break. Still bullish on Amazon as well, and really be watching the action on Tesla. And we saw a lot of action on oil plays, and so ExxonMobil looks really good for a swing trade, and can head towards 110, 115. So. ExxonMobil looks like a good one too, but for swing trade, not really for day trade.
Yeah, I did note the strength in XLE and USO this morning. I don't trade oil stocks, so I have no opinion on this. So it's good to know XOM. How about Oxy? I know Warren Buffett's in Oxy. Is that something that's still?
Yeah, that's a good one. The thing with Oxy, you make sure you always get. I don't really trade Oxy. A few people I know in my room do, but I would say you have to do with a longer time frame because oil is sensitive and can fluctuate. If the price of oil goes up, the stocks go up, but if it goes down, the stock pulls back. So it's very sensitive to prices. The other thing too is really liking QQQ. So if it breaks 355, I'm going to go long on QQQ for a swing trade. So watching these indices are looking really good. I mean, I'm long on SPY. If it breaks, and today's a key level. If it breaks 430. Could see some fireworks in the market. So, we'll see what happens this week. But so far, they say the trend is your friend, and trade what you see and not always like what you think, because when you think too much, you're missing out on opportunities. So you have to just always like, what is it that you're seeing? And if you see something, just follow the money. What you gotta do.
Let me just, I just want to delve into DraftKings a little bit more, because DraftKings is really intriguing for me because this had great fundamentals. We covered it on its earnings beat day. So we played a little bit on day one. and then it's been riding up to 20 DMA. Now it gets 3 analysts upgrading it today for some reason. I don't know if there's a catalyst of why the timing is all today, but you'd mentioned to me there's also some dark money flow or something. So I feel like a lot of catalysts coming together at the same time for DraftKings. Anything you want to add there in terms of targets or money flow?
Well, you know what? I think the target to me on DraftKings, I'm thinking like this can go to $30 on DraftKings. So it is one of my favorite setups going into the week. It's got the trend is really strong at the 10 day and the moving averages very strong. I would say stop loss would be under 22.50, but it looks like a great continuation on the actual stock. So, stock's been consolidating and it's breaking through the cloud. It was kind of flagging above the resistance. So looking really good for upside momentum. So definitely, I would say if anyone takes DraftKings, because this week is, we have, next week is OPEX. I would say don't even do a June contract. Just go straight to July because you want to make sure you have time on these. I really like the $25 contracts for July 21. Those look really good and nice and
interesting,
nice and safe. But they look really, really good. And,
okay, so when you say $30, that's not something you're thinking would happen today or this week. It's something that could take a few weeks to play out to get to 30.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's up to the market. I mean, this could go to $30 this week. I don't know. All I'm saying that's the target I'm looking for on DraftKings and stop under 22.50. So
cool.
If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't go this week, it doesn't matter as long as it doesn't go under 22.50. The trade's in play. So this is why you want to take something with time on it. And it could actually go to 32.50 as well. So it looks really great, really, really nice, clean chart. Good call, good action, good flow here as well. So, why not take advantage and go into a good quality chart? So keep a watch on it. Maybe it's something people might like to watch or trade. Very good to trade on the commons too. And it's looking great. Looking really, really nice. So one to go.
We'll see what it does. Sounds good. Let's kill it today. Have a great day.
Okay, guys, have a great day. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.